Hi, Tracy here. I'm going to be showing you guys my project life process. I just have a few pieces of ephemera to scrap this week, as well as a whole bunch of photos. And so I'm going to start by cutting them all down on my Creative Memories little tiny guillotine trimmer. And I think Tonic makes one of these, and definitely Ranger makes one of them, and I think Tonic does as well. So if you're looking for a little trimmer like mine, hopefully you can find one. Mine was a gift, and it is from Creative Memories, and I think you can still get them from there as well. So I print almost all of my photos at 2x2. It just simplifies the process, and it means that I become very familiar with the size of 2x2, and I know how to fit it on a card and how much journaling space I'm going to have, and so on and so forth. So it just makes the most sense to me. When something is a Instagram photo or a screenshot of some sort, I print it up at 2x3.5, and that allows it to fit within a 3x4 pocket and still be able to capture the entire screen. So here I'm just looking at my project life so far and having a look at which side of the page I'm going to be scrapbooking on. So I'm scrapping on the side without the pockets, so that would be a left-sided page. And I'm thinking that I might have to use 2 pages for this bunch of photos because I really have more photos. That's Nixie, my chocolate point Siamese cat. And she's not usually very friendly at all. I mean, she's friendly. She's not antisocial or anything, but she doesn't really like to be touched. But she really, really wanted to be petted. Anyhow, I thought I had so many photos, I would probably have to put them into 2 pages. But look, it looks like everything except for those 2 cat photos are going to fit within one side. And I really want my project life to fit on one side, because in other years when I did a full page, like a double page spread per week, I had to use 2 albums for Project Life those years. So I'm trying to keep it into one album, and so that means one side of a page protector. And sometimes I'll do inserts or whatever, but I'm trying really hard to keep it down to one page. So I was glad those cat pictures can become filler pictures for maybe another week down the line when I don't take as many pictures. So this is the Clementine kit, which was my second or third core kit that I bought. I used to buy a core, I don't buy all that many core kits, but I used to buy a couple back when I was using a lot of Project Life cards, and then I stopped for a while, and so I still have all of those cards from back when I used to scrapbook exclusively with the Becky Higgins core kits, and so I'm trying to use them up. I did a little switcheroo there. I was initially looking at the Clementine kit, and now I pulled out the honey kit, which I really love. I love the colors. They just seem to fit a little bit better with some of the colors that were in my photos. And so you see that I have 2 photos that I kind of want to go together, two pairs of photos that I want to go together, and then these 2 go together too. These don't, but they're both the same size, so they will look nice beside each other. So what I do when I'm using a Design A page protector and I'm putting 2 3x4 cards into a 4x6 pocket is I just mount those cards onto a 4x6 grid card. So that's why I placed a grid card behind those. So my most recent, I've done so many different approaches to Project Life. It's not even funny. But currently, my approach to Project Life is that I set out the photos like I just did, and then I go and pull out some cards, and then I start decorating them. So I just pulled out a couple of blank grid cards because I use those sometimes for journaling strips and whatnot. And then I'm just going to jump right in. So I'm going to start by taking this Monday stamp, and you see I kind of stamped it there on the heart. You didn't see it, it happened off screen, but on the top left hand card I stamped the word Monday on so that it's overlapping on the heart that was already on the card. That stamp was from the Scraptastic Kit Club stamps from this month, which is May. It's June, but I'm using the kit from May still. And now I'm going to take these. I was kind of trying to think about how I could incorporate these bracelets They're the admissions bracelets for the Greek festival that we went to. We go to that every year. And so what I decided to do was run a strip across the top and the bottom. This is a Becky Higgins card from the Honey collection. They're all from the Honey collection. And I kind of like how that looks with the clouds on the top and on the bottom, and then it gives me some space for some journaling or other embellishing on the sides of it. And so I really like how that looks. It brings a punch of color to the bottom, and I thought maybe some wood veneers would be good here. It was a really rainy day, and I knew I had these rain-themed wood veneers that I've never used. I have had them for so long, and I just haven't scrapbooked a rainy day layout ever since I had them. So I've taken the umbrella and a little sprinkling of raindrops. I thought about putting more wood veneer on the other side, but it looked like it was going to be just a little bit too much. So I'm going to leave it as it is. And I'm just using my Tombow Mono Multi adhesive to glue down those little teeny weeny raindrops. Some of them are hearts and some of them are drops. And then I'm using a teensy weensy bit of this glue. It's very strong glue, so you don't need to use too much, and you don't want it to ooze. Although if it does ooze, it does dry clear and matte, so you won't really see it. Now I'm just getting my pen. I'm using my Faber-Castell Pitt pen in the superfine tip, which I believe is a 0.1 tip. And I'm just doing my journaling on the side there, and I really like how that looks, and that's pretty much done. So now for this card, I felt like I had a little story to tell, and this card isn't just not going to give me enough room to tell it. So what I did was, right now I'm over at my Jetmax Cube, and I'm having a look at the Honey kit, and I grabbed a second version of that exact same card, and those cards are the journaling 4x6 cards, so they're actually a little bit less than 4x6, and they have a very slight score down the center of them to enable you to do some journaling and fold it in half and stick it into a 3x4 pocket. So I also printed up an extra photo, because if I'm going to use a pocket here and kind of add to this, I have the luxury of being able to use another photo. So I printed up another photo from the same bunch of photos, and now I'm taking one of these snap flips. It's a 4x6 flip pocket, and I'm almost at the end of them, so I'm just going into my list and I'm adding snap flips in 3x4 size so that I can buy more of them, because I use these all the time, so I need more. And yeah, so I'm going to do some journaling on this. And what am I looking for here? I'm not exactly sure. Oh yeah. So I know that I'm going to put a story on the inside of that folded area, but that's going to leave the outside of the folded card blank. And I know I'm going to put a photo on the front, but on the back, it's going to be blank. So I'm just looking for a cute sticker to put on the back. This is a really great opportunity to use a large sticker that you like, but maybe is too big for a Project Life card and some journaling and pictures and stuff, or whatever. And you'll notice that I put it upside down, and that's because when you flip the card up, that back of the pocket will be upside down. Although I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. Because this is a pullout, pardon me, and so I'm going to put a little paper clip at the top of it to give you something to grab onto, or something. At this point, I don't know if it's going to be a paper clip. And yeah, so right, the other thing that I'm doing here, sorry, I'm totally disorganized, is I'm just cutting off part of the front of that flap of the folded piece, because I want the details to remember, and the arrow, I want that to be showing through from the back, so that it kind of emphasizes the fact that there's an openable pocket. Look at my cat. She's like crazy looking for attention, and she's the kind of cat who always ignores you and walks away if you ever want to pay attention to her. So I guess all I have to do is scrapbook to get her attention. Look at her. She's not even like that. That's so funny. Anyhow, here's my, she's so distracting. I didn't realize that she was like that. Sorry, guys. Anyhow, I am using my Stampin' Up! Stapler. And I'm going to I had to put the staples, I had to refill it. And I am actually stapling that paper clip onto the card so that it becomes a pull tab for pulling the card out of the flip pocket from Snap. And now I'm actually going to attempt this a couple of times. I'm writing something that says pull me, and I'm going to make a flag out of it. Only the first time I didn't pull off enough washi tape, so that didn't work. And I also thought maybe I'll move it to the other side. So I flipped my tape around and wrote it so it went the other way so that I could flip it on the other side, and plenty of tape this time. I'm going to just cut a little fishtail banner here using my scissors, and that looks really cute. When I put it in the pocket, however, that fishtail banner keeps the card from going all the way down, and I thought I would just leave it. I'm going to fiddle with it a little bit. I thought about just making the fishtail a little bit smaller. It still keeps the card from going all the way down to the bottom of the pocket. But I thought maybe I'll just leave it. And so I'm going to leave it for now, but I'll come back and fix it towards the end. I'm going to outline around this photo, and the outlining that I do on Project Life is usually to add some contrast or to emphasize something. And in this case, I just wanted to make these cards be a little bit higher contrast. And here I'm going to do my journaling. And my journaling talks about how it was our community yard sale day, but we actually weren't going to participate in it because we're just not organized enough to have things decided out ahead of time to plan for a yard sale. But the kids were going outside to play and realized that, oh, it's the day of the yard sale. So they wanted to bring some stuff to the bottom of the driveway to sell. And I was thinking about it more as just an activity for them to do than it was an opportunity to actually do a yard sale. But anyhow, they ended up selling some Girl Guide cookies and a couple of their toys. So that was kind of nice. And I stayed out and watched them, but they did all of the selling and took care of the table all by themselves. So that was quite nice. And then the boys next door actually came, not next door, one boy next door and one boy from across the street came over and helped me to unpack and kind of bring everything back up to the house. And I thought that was really kind of them. They didn't have to. They were just driving by on their bikes, and they just stopped, put down their bikes, and helped me fold up the table and carry it up to the house and all the chairs. And they made multiple trips. It was really, really nice of them. So I sent their parents a Facebook message that said, hey, just wanted to let you know your boys were really kind today. So that's how that card is going to go. Moving on to the next one. And I did add some outlining to the other parts of that interactive element. And here I'm using another one of these stickers from the Dear Lizzie collection. I think it's from the Lucky Charm collection from quite a while ago now. And I still have these. And I just really want to get them used. So I used one the other day, and now I'm using another one here, and hopefully they'll be all gone very soon. This is about Sophie's enrollment and guides. So they have this pretty elaborate ceremony where the brownies go up to guide. The sparks go up to brownies, the brownies go up to guides, the guides go up to pathfinders, and pathfinders go up to, I think, rangers. And so anyways, we went to that little ceremony. It was raining, and so I could have used more of those umbrella and cloud wood veneers, but I decided not to. I'll come back to that card at the end. And so I do this in phases where I mentioned two of the phases already. I start by laying out all the photos, and then I lay out all the cards, and then I basically attach the photos to the cards and do some basic journaling and outlining and stuff. And then I go back and do the embellishing. Most of the embellishing. Now, sometimes I'm on a roll and I just do all the embellishing at this phase on certain cards, but my main objective at this phase is to just get the photos attached, and if I'm going to do a title, I'll do the title now, and if I'm going to do journaling, I'll do it now. And then any kind of final touches that I'm not sure about, I just leave for the final phase. So I needed the photo to be attached, and you saw me just cut around the Remember flag banner so that it would show on top of the photo instead of lying underneath of it. And then I didn't have the right letters in that set of Jilly Bean Soup letters. And so I am going to have to get some more of those because I love them. They're perfect for Project Life. I love how skinny they are, and they're big enough that they make a nice bold title for Project Life, but yet they're flat, so they don't take up too much space in your pocket, and I just really like them. I think I said everything. It sounded like I had a longer list. So then these are Kelly Perky stickers, the red ones, and I like how that looks together. So board game, and then I thought I would handwrite the word night because I'm running out of space there for letter stickers. And I accidentally shifted that E up as I placed it, and so now the rest of this word is too far up. It's not quite very legible when you put it that much layered, but now it's a little bit better. And so I'm going to try my hand at some scrolly lettering because I don't have very nice penmanship, but I think that turned out uncharacteristically nice for my handwriting. This one is super easy. So I have this is on a little, it's like a cake, one of those tiered dessert trays, and I actually bought it for myself to use in my bedroom to hold jewelry and stuff. And it's made in Turkey, and it had this beautiful tag and a beautiful sticker holding the tag onto the dish. And so I wanted to use one or both of those in this Project Life, so I managed to use the sticker there. So I'm happy about that. Now you see those letters that stick out behind the photo? I went to my yellow scrap drawer, and I picked yellow because I just took a look at the layout and thought, what color is not around here that is elsewhere in the layout? And it was yellow. So I went to my yellow scraps and I cut myself a chunk of yellow to attach over those letters. And now I'm just going to trim it down. Sorry, that's off camera. I'm zoomed in a tiny bit too far here. Now I'm going to outline. I'm outlining the band, and then I'm also outlining the whole entire card with my medium Faber-Castell Pitt pen, and just attaching the photo. And now here's an example of me embellishing in the moment just because I feel like it. So these are the kinds of final touches that I usually leave till the end, but I just felt like doing it here. I had the idea. And so this is gold and cream, I think, twine from Recollections. I bought it at Michael's last time I was there, and I'm just tying a little bow around this just to give it a little bit of extra dimension and interest. I rarely use twine in my Project Life. I realized the other day when I was cleaning my twine drawer, I thought, I gotta use this more often, and I figured I could probably use it on Project Life. So I just printed up a text. I did a screenshot of just a funny text Stephanie and I had kind of going back and forth. It's not like all that funny. It's just an example of, yay, look at this. I'm using the last sticker on that package. Hooray! I'm clapping for myself and throwing the package ceremoniously in the garbage. That sticker is cut crookedly, which of course it is because I cut it at a weird angle when it was half stuck to the paper, but I'm going to cover it with some ribbon anyways, so it doesn't really matter that it's crooked. And these are two photos that go together on Monday. They were both taken on Monday. They're unrelated to each other than it happened on Monday, but that's okay. This card is going to be about doing chores on Monday, so that Stampin' Up! Ribbon is really cool. I love that chevron ribbon. And I always buy Stampin' Up! Ribbon when it's on sale. I was going to outline and I decided not to. I accidentally started journaling in the wrong pen, so I was using the medium point and I wanted to use the superfine point so that I find that my writing looks a little bit neater when I use the superfine pen for my journaling. I like the heaviness of the medium, but I like the neatness of the superfine. So that one is all done. I think it's all done. That's it, isn't it? Let me see. I'm going to zoom out in just a second. There we go. There we go. So now this phase is done, and now we're on to phase 3, which is the final touches and embellishing phase. So since we're dealing with final touches, I'm going to give that little flag one last go. I'm writing pull out again and drawing another arrow. And this time the flag is going to go on the left side of the paper clip. And I cut it, and then I cut my fishtail banner. Sorry, that's happening off screen, but there it is. And that looks a little bit better. Now it can sit all the way down. And that became important because I wanted that card to lay over top of the card below it perfectly. And if the card wasn't all the way down into the bottom of the pocket, it was floating too far up, like it was overlapping the Dream Big card a little bit too much. And so I just didn't like the look of that. So it was important that I figured out a way that that card get inside of the pocket properly. So now I have a couple of wood veneers on this layout, so I wanted to spread a few more around the page. And so the owl wood veneer that I have from an old Scraptastic Club kit. I think it's from Scraptastic. That owl relates to Girl Guiding because the brownie leaders are often, or one of them was called Owl. I'm not sure why. And then the little camera was cute on the selfie that my daughter took with her best friend. And so I've got wood veneers in 3 different places on this layout, and I thought maybe I should put twine in 3 different places. So I'm going to use the exact same technique here. I just thought that this card with the owl was just missing something, and so I tied some twine around this one too, and a little tiny bow. I'm going to trim the little ends so that it's not so long. Looks a little bit neater and doesn't interfere with the journaling. I thought maybe I could put twine in a 3rd place, but I didn't want to. It looked like if I put more twine on, it would look weird. Like I couldn't think of any new way to do twine, and I definitely didn't want twine wrapped around 3 cards. It was just a little bit too much. So I put one of those reflective acrylic shapes from the My Mind's Eye on Trend 2 collection. Love that. Okay, so that took a little bit longer than I thought, but it's all done now. I took a little bit more than an hour, but I will show you what I have done here. So here's a card all about Monday. I used the honey kit for this week, and I managed to get it squeezed into 1 page. I thought I'd have to use 2, but I'm happy to say that I only needed 1. So I did some journaling about what our Mondays are like. I used one of those Dear Lizzie journaling stickers, the last one, hooray! And I used some Stampin' Up! Ribbon, and I stamped the word Monday overlapping the heart, and then that's just it. The Becky Higgins cards are so awesome because you don't really have to do anything to have a beautiful project. So right here, I just put the text message, the print up, I guess it's a photo screenshot of the text message kind of interaction right there, and I just outlined it and it looks fine. Then right here, there were words showing, so all I did was I covered the words with some pattern paper, did some outlining, added some twine and a wood veneer. That's a really cute picture of my daughter and her friend. And then with this one, I decided to add the twine and the owl at the last minute. The owls are really big in Girl Guides. The leaders are sometimes called owls and so on. So I put this owl die cut from a Scraptastic kit, an old kit, and added some twine and another one of those Dear Lizzie labels. And then this one is just a Becky Higgins card. I did a tiny bit of journaling and added a photo of my planner and some books that I was using for a project I was working on. It's a big project, so that's why I did the Dream Big. I've been working on it. Well, it's a class that I'm developing, and I worked on it like 2 years ago. I worked on it a whole lot and had it almost done, and then I ran into some problems with the overlap between psychology and scrapbooking, and it looked like I was going to have to not do that project, and now it turns out that I can, so I'm back at it. I'll keep you guys posted on that. Then we've got board game night. I tried to do some scrolly writing, and I think it turned out okay. It's pretty cute. I didn't have much room for more letter stickers under there, so that's why I decided to just use my handwriting. These are Jelly Bean Soup letter stickers, and these are Kelly Perky letter stickers. And then I just cut the card, as you guys saw. Another just a card, sticker, and embellishment. Now this is a bit of an interactive, it's going to go down here, and I wanted to just have this be a pullout, but because this is on the other side of the album, so let me show you what I mean. This page goes right here, and so the holes to the pockets are on the other side, and so I can't have an interactive element here. So what I decided to do is use one of these snap flips and have a pull-out pocket that you can pull this out like that. I have, when you pull it out, you can see an extra photo under there that I just decided to add. This is what it looks like. I trimmed it down so that you could see the details to remember, and it kind of emphasizes the fact that there's a flip out card here. You can see the dimension. I did my journaling right there, and then the back I didn't have anything for, so I just added a sticker and wrote the phrase community yard sale. I did put it upside down so that if you flip it, I don't think you'll be flipping it because this keeps it from being flipped, but anyhow, I just did that. Then this is what the card looks like up close. Did a little bit of extra journaling on it. And then finally, my Greek Fest card. I used that Becky Higgins card with the clouds on the top and the bottom, and it looks like the whole background card is a cloud card, but this is actually not. This is part of the card too. So I ran the admission bracelets on the top and on the bottom, one of the youth and one of the adult. We had 5 altogether, but I just kept the 2 because I knew I probably wouldn't need 5. I used this wood veneer umbrella with raindrops, and some of the drops are hearts and some of the drops are drops. And did my journaling over on the corner. So that is my page. Thanks so much for checking it out, and have a great scrappy week.